Okay, if you guys have been watching my YouTube videos before, you should know where I am. Or if you've been here before, you might recognize it. That was a little fast for over here. The speed limit is 30. And we don't know where the cops are this morning because this is my first pass through here, but we are at US Highway 129, also known as Tail of the Dragon. And we've just entered from the north side, traveling south. We are in Tennessee currently. And I'm going to take you for a ride through here. I'm not going to go all too hard because I noticed this morning that my tire, rear tire, is a little bit dry rotted close to the rim. Thankfully I showed up with 2 bikes on this trip. So if this bike, the Ninja 250, isn't happy for some reason, or if it starts to act up, or if I feel that the cracks in the tires are starting to look dangerous, then I'm going to stop riding it. But here we go. I'm not going to say a whole lot of commentary, I imagine, unless something comes to mind. I'm going to be focusing more on riding. But yesterday, a lot of stuff happened out here. 2 bikes went off, and I mean off. One went off a cliff. I never even saw the bike. I don't know where the bike wound up at, but I saw the guy wrapped around the tree about 40 feet down. So I think he went airborne, hit a tree, and slid down 40 feet of the tree, where he was wrapped around it like a horseshoe, and it was tough to tell how he was contorted, if he was bent frontwards, backwards, sidewards, or what, but he was wrapped around a tree like a horseshoe, and one of his buddies ran down to the cliffside to see him, and well, it didn't look good, as he wasn't moving. He wasn't moving at all. He was stuck there. And the second one was a Harley rider, way up on the north end, just a couple turns south of the Dragon Pit Inn, which, if you know anything about the area, the speed limit's a little higher there, and the turns aren't as tight as they are, and what I would call the Dragon portion of it, you know, which is anything south of the reservoir. Boy, I love this Ninja 250. It just goes. You don't need a whole lot of power, and you could take these turns and pass just about anybody with no effort. It doesn't matter that you don't have all that power. Yesterday I took out my SV650, and I'm not used to riding a bike that heavy or that big on twisty turns. I've always ridden smaller bikes, and it took me a while to get the hang of it. It also wasn't helping that the front tire had a tendency to slip because the sides of the tire were like glazed from not being used. So it took a little while to burn that off before the tire started to grip. But I did enjoy it. I figured out finally how to lean that bike. It just, I wasn't doing it right. I was trying to sit more upright like I do on the Ninja 250. And that was the wrong answer for the SV. The SV, you have to lean forwards more and push that knee towards the ground. Yeah, the Ninja 250, you don't have to put a knee down. You just sit on top of it. It just turns. And the SV requires a little more manhandling, a little more force. And that's what I wasn't doing right. I always managed to get stuck behind a slow rider. Well, I shouldn't say a slow rider. Everybody really is a slow rider out here. The speed is 30, and really we're keeping the pace at about 30. But in the turns, which is where the cops aren't, is where I like to give it a little bit of a flog once in a while. The cops like to pick up the guys going on the straights because that's where they're gonna, of course, wind it up. But no, on the straights I'll do 30. There's a scenic overlook. Alright, looks like we're going to be alone here. There it is. Alright. Looks Looks like we're doing about 35. I think we're going to keep it right about here because this is the straight stuff and this is the kind of place that you will find a cop. I don't see any photographers out yet, but usually they are south of the scenic overlook that we just passed. Yeah, there's usually a photographer right here. Killboy or US Highway 129 Photography or one of the other guys. There's a lot of them now. There used to just be Killboy, and then there was the 129 Photography, and now it's not unusual to see, you know, a dozen or more photographers out here with all their respective websites. Sometimes it's really hard to track down your photos. I've got the camera in the wide angle view. Hopefully that's looking pretty good. The super wide was just a little too wide. It made everything that was really nearby seem distant and small. So you didn't capture the same detail, but it gave you a great panoramic view. Now tomorrow is a solar eclipse. And I'm going south on the Dragon down to the Cherrahala Skyway because there is a place that I tracked down that I was at several years ago that just happens to be right at the line, the dead center line of the solar eclipse that happens on August 21st, which is tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to go scope the area out. I'm probably going to drive the car over there because I'm going to take a tent with me. I'm going to be a few hours early and I sunburn like a son of a bitch. So I need to not fry. So the tent's going to go with me. I'm going to bring a cooler and I'm going to be bringing the ducks. Maybe just Skeeter because Boomer might be too big of a pain in the ass because it's kind of a mile hike up a trail to get to the top of the mountain, and it's the highest peak on the Cherrahala Skyway, and I can't remember the exact footage. It's 5,000 or 6,000 feet, right about a mile high. And me doing all of my physical training and living at sea level, my blood is a little thin. So sometimes as I start to climb that mountain at a high rate of speed, there's some photographers. Yee! Sometimes as I climb that mountain at a high rate of speed, you know, a very brisk walking pace or even a very slow jog, I get out of breath really quickly, which is something that I don't experience at home living in Florida at sea level. So from my understanding, they say for best endurance you should live at altitude, which thickens your blood, and train at sea level. And you will be more efficient at sea level because your blood can carry more oxygen and nutrients for that matter because it's thicker. More red blood cells. But I don't have that option in Florida. Another photographer over there. You notice I stopped talking. I've never tried to talk while taking these kinds of corners before, and it looks like it's requiring a lot of my focus. Ooh, I just got a foot peg down. Yeah, a little scrapey action. That's the first time I've actually done that on this bike. Usually I don't have to lean it that far in a turn, but yeah, I pushed it a little more than I usually do. I guess after getting off of that SV and muscling it around as I have, I'm treating this bike a little harder than I usually would. There's Killboy. And when we get home, of course, we'll dig up those photos. and I'll try to edit them into the video. Ooh, and foot peg again. Really nice. And I've never gotten a knee down on Ninja 250. As I said, you don't need to. This bike just goes. Oh yeah, I'm noticing it's a little cold up here this morning, which is nice. I'm so used to living in the hot friggin' weather in Florida. As soon as we get into these shady spots over here, it starts to get cold running at speed. I think that dude went off over here. No, this isn't it. Yeah, yesterday where that guy horseshoed himself, man. I have never seen anybody in person go off before. That was one of the first. One of these signs, somebody scraped off the letters and changed it to "Do No Ass." We'll see that coming up in a little while. And we're at about the halfway point. I thought I saw mile marker 5.5 a minute ago. This is nice. There's not a whole lot of people out here yet this morning. Everybody's still drinking their coffee and eating their donuts. In fact, I've never gone this far without getting somebody stuck in front of me. And I love getting behind those sport biker guys that are in the full leathers and they've got their knee down in these turns and they are just whining that bike out. And I'm right behind them on a Ninja 250 with no effort. There actually is a local motorcycle school training course in Pensacola that one of the instructors used to ride with me. And there's only a couple times he used to ride with me because we were in a group. He really didn't know me well, but he knew me as being the big guy on the smallest bike. And everybody always makes fun of me whenever I used to show up at the bike rides that we used to have early Sunday morning. We would ride like a bunch of hooligans through the hills of Alabama and in a couple of semi-twisty roads that we have up there. Boy, that motor was hot on that car that just passed. I could smell it. Whew! Smell the brakes too. Just that metal smell and that you can almost taste the brakes. Still smell the brakes. Probably stuck in my nose. It's a pretty acrid smell. It could be the guy in front of me too. He is driving a truck after all. Alright, fingers are getting numb. As I get older, I have that problem more often. Since I've never had carpal tunnel, despite working on computers all day long, it would figure that I would get it on my poor motorcycle. The one thing that I really enjoy, and I could care less if a computer hurts me, I don't have to be in front of it like that. I enjoy this. The motorcycle is where I want to be at. I want to be behind a keyboard. I can't wait to see this video. For some reason, whenever you use these wide angles, it always looks like you're driving in the grass, or you're over the yellow line, or sometimes you're even down in the ditch or something. Maybe this guy in a truck will pull over and let me pass. Crossing the yellow line and shit. He's been doing that a lot. He's gonna get somebody hurt. Oh, he's pulling off. All right. How level I'm keeping my head. I guess the camera will expose that. And one of the things they tell you in the instruction school, to keep your head level when you're in the turns. Oh yes, the instruction school. One of the guys used to ride with me, and he was training the course, which a friend of mine was in, who now is actually one of the instructors. And he was talking about how riders don't need a big bike. If you want to learn how to ride fast in the turns, you probably should start out with a small bike. Because if you can get that small bike to go fast, you can ride anything. And he discussed some guy in Pensacola, who he really did not know the name of, has a blue Ninja 250 and can outride and pass anybody. I was quite complimented when I heard that he's using me as an example while training the course. So apparently I'm doing all the right things from an instructor's standpoint. Going a little fast. On the way up here on Friday, I was driving the Nissan 350Z with both of my bikes on the trailer, and I came through the south end of 129 going north, so I got to see all the assholes that were crossing the double yellow line and damn near hitting me head on. And then one of them got so close, he barely got out of the way in time. And if I just stuck my hand out the window, I would have knocked the helmet off his head. Needless to say, my heart was in my throat, even though I wouldn't have been the one injured. You probably notice I do a lot of shifting. Ninja 250 doesn't have that torque. If you want to accelerate, you got to downshift. The SV, you can more or less just leave it in like a third or fourth going out here and just throttle it and it goes. Making left turns, sharp left turns, the blind left turns are the ones that scare me. Those are the ones that a car will come around and they cross that double yellow line and you just don't expect it to happen until it does. Oh man. It is cold up here. I don't believe it. I'll bet it's probably about 70 degrees. In the sun, of course. In the shade, it's going to be cooler than that, and I've got the windshield difference, but it feels like it's about 50. To me, riding, it feels like about 50. And I've still got that northern blood. I've never really adjusted to the Florida heat. For some reason, it just murders me. There's it is. Do no ass. Ha ha! But the heat in Florida just murders me. Whenever I go back up to New Jersey, even in the middle of the summer, I'm like, you know, this is beautiful weather. And everybody looks at me funny. It's hot. Well, we're coming up on the North Carolina border in just a moment. The North Carolina side is a side where you almost never see any cops. Almost never. I think they just don't like driving out that far. That's one of them blind left turns there that makes me nervous. There it is, North Carolina border. A few more turns over this way and we'll be at the Deals Gap Resort. There's a really cool gift shop across the street. They actually have satellite Wi-Fi. Woo, he's going fast. Yeah, there's no cops out this morning. Go nuts, guys, just be safe. They just love to go fast in the straights. See me? Nope, 35. 35 miles an hour is all I need to go. I don't like tickets. No, I do not like tickets. I haven't gotten a ticket in, doing the math now, 22 years, I believe it is, next month. It's the last time I got a ticket. And of course it was doing stupid kid shit on a motorcycle. Apparently I was going so fast on my 1982 CB450 that the cop couldn't catch me. I didn't even know he was after me, but he was driving one of those boxy police cruisers that they had back in the 90s that they were just phasing out. There it is. There's the cool gift shop with the Wi-Fi, and there's the Deals Gap Resort. Now, we're not going that way. We're going to stay on 129. And the reason why is because we're going to the Cherahalla Skyway. Looks like we've already done 22 miles since we left. Alright, we got to get on down to Joyce Kilmer Road, I believe it is. There should be signs for the Cherahalla Skyway. We'll just continue to follow the signs. Down over here is one of the dams. And I'm bad at remembering the name of these dams. I suppose if I lived here I would know them better, but I don't. But up and around this way there's a dam and a nice bridge. The place where I let Skeeter play in the water. Speaking of which, I might let her do that later today. We'll get a little video of that. Boy, the pollen up here makes me sniffle. I drove to town yesterday just to pick up a couple little things like some water for tomorrow and some supplies, and the main reason why I went to town was so I can get internet and make sure that the weather is looking good for tomorrow, because if we're not going to get clear skies here tomorrow, I'm not going to be here. But they're saying partly cloudy. I mean, as long as we get the sun showing through at some points, I think we're going to be okay. Today is mostly sunny, and I'm not seeing a cloud in the sky anyway, so there's no rain in the forecast. And the weather here doesn't change quite as quickly as it does down in Florida. Boy, it is just beautiful up here. The water has that mint chocolate color. It's like a black brownish green, that dark mint chocolate color. When you actually get right up on it, you can actually see the bottom in some places. So the water's quite clear. Alright, there's the dam up there on the left. The bridge. Whee! Is this asshole gonna pull out in front of me? No. Good. Boom. There's the dam. Now the movie, I think it's Fugitive with Harrison Ford. That part where he's on the dam or in the dam, that's that dam. Ouch. There we go. Lucky for me, I can find a parking spot anywhere. Quite to my surprise, and I had no idea.
So I was super pumped about that. It's been getting like high 30s or low 40s on it. And then I got 50, 49, 49.
Yep. This is going to be really full tomorrow. Probably going to have to bike it. And we're going in. It's about 1.25 miles walk up. There is a gate, so of course you can't take the motorcycle or the car through here. Although I imagine I could probably throw the bike on its side, but no. How are you?
I'm alright, you?
Good. And I'm wearing Grandpa's sun hat. You gotta love it, Safari. Here we go. That up on top there is where we need to be. I'm currently out of breath, as you can hear. Whew. That's the 5,300 foot mark up there. And this thin air is kicking my ass. I mean, I could climb a hill like that at sea level, no problem, but this is a lot for me here. I'm just not used to it. Mile high is a heck of a difference from sea level, where I've lived for the last 20 years. Alright, up we go. Alright, there it is. There's the summit. Don't know if you can see it, but that's the cross right there. And that's where we're headed up to. Whew, still out of breath. My heart rate's not up very high, but I just can't catch my breath. Alright, we're on top of Huckleberry Knob. Got a good 360 view. I'm trying to hold the camera as stable as possible. I know it's gonna be jerky. It's going on YouTube, by the way.
I got it.
And down below here, we've got Ginger and Clay, who we just met today. And they're gonna hold me a little spot up here for tomorrow when I bring Skeeter. It's gonna be awesome. And there it is. There's the clearing that we walked through earlier. And beyond that, there's another clearing, and I don't know what that's for. We don't see anybody up there.
You got everything you need out here?
Alright, signing off. I'm starting to get a real headache from oxygen deprivation. And off she goes. We're back at the dam. There it is. Headed back the opposite direction on the Dragon over here. Probably gonna stop and pick up a cold iced tea up at the gift shop, because I sure am thirsty. That came up in a hurry. Speed limit is actually 30 and I'm doing 45, so let's not do that anymore. Here we are, Hills Gap. The gift shop across the street is iced tea for $1. Alright, gloves back on. I met two nice guys here in front of me on the Harleys from Texas. Pretty cool guys, and the one had the same GoPro camera that I've got, and he asked why he can only record it for a minute before it goes off. Well, it was actually recording, it's just the screen would go off. It goes into battery protection mode to save the battery, of course, and that's why the screen goes dark. But I have mine set to even less time than that. It's like 10 or 20 seconds, I forget what the setting is, but I let it go dark quickly. I like to save that battery. Shit. This is stupid me. I left my key in my pocket without putting it in the damn bike. And the other thing that I forgot to do, which I just dropped under the bike, was put my cell phone, stupid cell phone, they've got Wi-Fi over here, so I was using it to communicate with some of my friends. I don't like it on my belt, so you have the risk of losing it. So I shove it down here in the trunk. And both cell phones are in one case, and it just manages to fit. Alright, here we go. It's nice when people let you pass. It's always nice. That guy on that Harley that was in front of me, though, he was really pushing it hard. And he had a passenger, so 2 up is really difficult to push hard. Especially when your passenger doesn't understand to sit still and they're throwing you around, or what I hate even worse, twisting me. I'm trying to go to the right and they're trying to twist. Looks like we might have a cop ahead. And a lot of ladies that I take for a ride, they'll twist. My buddy's ex-girlfriend was really bad that way. He was a new rider, so he was afraid to take her out when we would ride. So she would get on with me and she would twist me. If I'm turning to the right, she would grab my whole body and twist me left. And I told her, just get close, pull me to you, or vice versa. Pull yourself into me and sit still. And they're wrapping up kind of early. where the accident happened yesterday, where the kid got wrapped around the tree. I think it was there. It might have been right here even, but... Yeah, maybe they were doing some investigating there, and that's why the cop was there. And, well, looks like he pulled over a whole bunch of them at the same time. Wonder if we'll see any troopers on the cycles like yesterday. Yesterday when I had out the SV. Whew. Those Harley exhausts don't smell very good. Good thing I wasn't going fast. But I guess that was probably the reinforcement for the cop that was already there with, you know, 8 bikes and a car. And maybe that was an accident, I don't know. Hate to be stuck behind them. And that's probably the flatbed to take the bikes away. Yeah, some of those guys might be getting impounded. "92 miles today. That's pretty damn cool. About half a tank of gas, which is about average. I get about 200 miles on a tank full with this. Sometimes up to 300, depending upon how gentle I am driving it. You know, come to think of it, it's been a while since I've ridden this bike regularly, but I don't think I ever got less than about 235 miles on a tank full. No matter where I was riding it. And upping close to 300 miles. Gotta show off for the photographer. I don't have that kind of horsepower. I can't pass him as quickly as he wants me to. I don't have that kind of horsepower at all. No, I can't pass you that quickly. give us a little bit of space. I'll probably just catch them in the next, you know, hairpin anyway. Another flatbed. Oh boy. It could be for the WRX. They had the hood open though. Or it could be for all the guys getting impounded. Now you saw a sign back there. We're about to come up on the scenic overlook. Saw some sign that said something about internet. I've got a curiosity now. I think it was right here. No, guess I'm wrong. Maybe it was a little further up. I'll just turn around up here again one more time and look. I just got airborne. There's the sign. Oh, it's an advertisement. Exceed internet. I thought maybe there was a possibility that you could pick up internet over here. some Wi-Fi hotspot or some weird shit that somebody was advertising. And hey, maybe that's what actually is there, but it didn't say that, so. Wi-Fi on the Dragon. Woohoo! Now we will be coming off of the Dragon, or at least officially the windy portion of it anyway, and seeing the reservoir in just a minute. Yesterday there was a cop down here at the last turn facing uphill. It's nice to see two beetles on the Dragon. I saw a beetle on the Dragon yesterday too. It was what looked like a early 60s model with deliberately patinaed paint. Looks like somebody sanded through it. It was beige, sanded through to black. Had a roof rack on it. It was lowered, and it sounded like it had an open exhaust on it. It reminded me a lot of my friend Matt's Beetle, the one that I put the motor in earlier this year. In fact, at a quick glance, because it was sitting in the shade, I thought it was him for a moment, until I saw the hippie-looking driver with long hair, and Matt shaves his head. Uh-oh. Well, then maybe that was a wreck over there. And the same friggin' turn as yesterday. Oh boy. A lot of cops in there, shit. Always wave to the cops. Always talk to the cops. Always be nice to the cops. And whenever shit goes down, they've almost always just talked to me like a real person. Alright, we're on the Dragon. We're taking Skeeter for what might be her final ride. And it's not that she's sick or she's dying or any of the above. It's just my little girl's getting old. And I don't know if she's going to enjoy this as much as she has before. I can hear her honking at me, though. So either she's loving it or she's hating it. But she's not looking around as actively as she has before. Now, I know her eyesight and her good eye, which is the one on the right side, the one that always faced the ground. A few years ago, she put a scratch in her cornea. So she did herself a little bit of irreversible damage. So when the vet checked her out, it said she's having some trouble seeing on that side, and that's for true. Now her eye on her left side developed a cataract some years ago, but that was the eye that she never really saw very well out of anyway. It kind of has a little bit of a deformity, and it goes along with her head and neck deformity that she had to begin with. But Skeeter is, as of today, I believe, 15 years, 5 months, and a couple days old. Next month will be her half birthday. She'll be 15 and a half on September 17th. Right, Skeeter? So I figured if we're going to be out on the Dragon, we ought to take her for one last ride. Because it doesn't appear that she loves it quite like she used to. I mean, she used to stick her face right into the wind. and just squawk when she would see things that she would love. You know, a grassy spot or some water. She would actually demand for me to stop and let her out and let her go play. And she's still looking around, right? If we get lucky, maybe we can get Killboy to take a photo of her again. But Skeeter is still perfectly healthy, but like anybody else who's 108 years old, and that's approximately her age in duck years, you know, she's got problems. She's just not as perfect as she used to be. I mean, I can relate. I'll be 40 next month myself, and my eyesight isn't as good as it used to be either. I also get heartburn now when I eat spicy things, which I never used to have that problem, and it still doesn't happen all the time, but it's one of those things that, as you get older, it happens. Right, Skeeter? She's such a good girl. Good baby girl. And still to this day, I don't know any other ducks that have conquered the dragon. Skeeter might still be the only one ever. Even Boomer hasn't been out here yet. And I don't know that I trust him in the box. He's a bit rambunctious. He jumps all over the place, won't stay put. And he likes to bite. And he's got a problem with humping. So out of all the above, not one of them is really compatible with a motorcycle ride on a twisty road through the mountains. For him, that just wouldn't be a very good idea. Right, Skeeter? Daddy's little girl. such a good girl. I don't know if there was anybody with a camera there, but there was a lot of people sitting around. Right, Skeeter? Yeah, talk about Skeeter getting old. I get this numbness in my hands now whenever I ride the motorcycle. It's probably some kind of carpal tunnel something. Yeah, I've been working on computers for 30-something years. Never had a problem. But now when I ride the motorcycle, my hands get tingly. I notice when I straighten my wrists out, the problem seems to go away. Poor Skeeter. they got a picture of Skeeter. Gotta go back again. I think we'll turn around just for good measure and make sure they got a proper picture of her. And there's nobody here. This is a good spot. See if they get some good pictures of Skeeter here. I hope so. Hammed it up a little bit. Hopefully we got some good photos. Now I'm behind two exhaust smelling Harleys again. I don't know why. The Harleys I've been behind today just stink. They have a very oily smelling exhaust. Yeah, it's not even the sweet two-stroke smell. It's just that harsh, you know, like 10W40 burning kind of smell. Ugh. I might even go so far as to say that overheating engine smell, where that gunk that's on the outside of the engine case, it just starts to burn. That's the stuff that stinks the worst. It smells like tar burning, and it might be tar even. There might be, you know, asphalt components from the road in it. $60, yeah. Good Skeeter. Yeah, as I said, I think she's probably the only duck that's ever gone for a ride on the Dragon on a motorcycle. SUV holding everything up now. That's it. Everybody's stopping to take pictures of Skeeter. I'm gonna guess this is probably all jammed up because of that accident that happened earlier, so. Right, Skeeter? Yes, you're a good girl. There was 2 wrecks earlier today. I don't know if they shut something down because of it, but that's what I was told. That they might be turning everybody around. What is it? Oh, you're so happy, aren't you? She's 15 and a half years old now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I figured it might be one of the last rides that I get to take with her because she doesn't seem to be enjoying it like she used to. But I don't know, she's still happy. If she's cleaning her feathers, she's content. You know, if she were terrified, she wouldn't be doing that. Right, Skeeter? Yes, you're a good girl. I can see the police lights over there.
Oh, there's police lights?
Yeah, I can see them. They're not far.
That's about where he was. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Skeeter. Alright, we're gonna stop this video for a moment.
Alright.
What'd he say?
Crotch rocket off the mountain.
Another one. There's about 5 of them went off this weekend.
Hi, how are you?
Crotch rocket off the mountain. Alright. Alright, the traffic's finally starting to move. I did see some police lights and some tow truck lights over here on the right-hand side. Everybody was saying a crotch rocket went off the mountain, and this seems to be the turn of death. This is the one that has caught several riders. You see all the footsteps in the dirt. One of them went down there. Oh, there it is. Not good. Right, Skeeter? Yeah, we're not going to send you off the mountain. Even though you have wings, we're not going to try to make you fly this weekend. Good Skeeter. What is it, Skeeter? I hear you talking to me. Skeeter's having a good old time. You know, I think when it comes down to it, I thought she wasn't going to enjoy this, and it's been a while since she's been on a bike. Maybe even up to 2 years. Just because things changed at work and I started doing some different things and I wasn't commuting regularly on a motorcycle anymore. It's probably since around the time that Boomer first came around. In fact, it is the time Boomer came around. As soon as I got Boomer, I started not taking Skeeter places as often because, do no ass, because Skeeter now had a playmate and somebody to keep her company. And that was roughly 2 years ago. In that 2 years, my little girl got old. Not that she wasn't old to begin with, you know, at 13 years old then. That's right, Skeeter. Quack, quack. We are about 2 or 3 minutes from totality, and I don't think this thing is going to give you what I'm seeing. Maybe it is. But there it is. Got a pretty good crowd. I'd say maybe up to 1,000 people here on top of this mountain. I gotta get everybody's reaction to this. It actually looks like somebody is turning a dimmer knob right now. It's actually dimming right in front of my eyes. And looking up at the sun, the crescent has mostly even disappeared. Now it's just, it's a little slice of a crescent. And it's still amazingly bright out here for what it is, but.
How's your ducky doing?
She's fine. Right, Skeeter? See? You want pizza?
Well,
2:32.
2 more minutes, guys. According to the maps. One of our friends who had the telescope said it's 2:34. Can you believe how bright it's still?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I smell weed. Smell weed. I thought I spilled the Corona. You smell it? There it goes. That dimmer knob. Oh boy! And I could actually read my watch in broad daylight. You can see the Corona already, huh?
yeah. Look at it. Oh wow! I'm probably damaging my sensor, but it's worth it.
Wow, the horizon's glowing. Holy shit! Wow! And a plane flying past. And I can see your drone up there too. Wow!
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, Prost!
Cheers. Thank you.
Go. Wow.
With the magic.
You okay, Skeeter? Skeeter is perfectly fine. If animals go nuts, this one won't. The glow sticks are glowing. You can actually see them. That rum is strong.
I don't think it's the rum, dude.
Ooh.
It's just happening. This is for real.
Anyway, we gotta look at the horizon here. Check out the horizon. It's just like a sunset. 360-degree view. Beautiful sunset, even though that's not what it is. Right now the time is 2:35. There it is, and I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you can see some of the stars. And because of the thin cloud layer that's up there, you're actually getting a little bit of a glow, so the sky never got completely black, but it's still beautiful. This is just amazing.
Today, you guys, it's
Yeah.
only 2:40.
Yeah. That is amazing that it hangs out there that long. And someday in the advanced future, way beyond our time, that moon is supposed to be further away and we won't get a full eclipse anymore. Wow. All right, starting to peak. Yeah, there it is. Wow, I don't believe it. It's like just a dot of light in the sky. It's like a little mini star way off in the distance. Somebody is turning that dimmer switch back up. Boy, we got so lucky that the clouds opened up. That is just amazing. Miracle of nature. Unbelievable. And boy, do we smell a lot of weed. The sky remained quite blue, though. Did you notice?
Yeah.
I think it had to do because there's a thin cloud cover, just very thin.
Yeah.
And what we were seeing wasn't necessarily all the corona. It was actually some of the cloud cover that was there, that thin layer just glowing, that haze. Amazing. How you feeling, Skeeter? How you feeling? You feel good? You did just fine, didn't you? Yes. It's just a myth that animals go nuts in an eclipse. Yeah, total myth. You're fine. She didn't even know it happened. You know how many times during the day I turn...
I've seen her move around.
You know how much during the day I turn a light switch on and off?
Yeah.
Think about it.
But I don't know, they have circadian rhythms and all that. So.
I suppose, but she lives inside. Right, Skeeter? Yeah, there's no cicada rhythms in you. Well, except that one time you ate a cicada. Your daddy's so drunk. We're gonna have to sober up before we get back on that motorcycle. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Okay, say bye, chicken. Your daddy's good chicken bird, aren't you? Yes. Yes, you are. I love you, chicken bird. Daddy has to pee so bad now. Well, Skeeter enjoyed playing with some new people. Didn't you, Skeeter? Oh yeah, you love the attention. We're headed back now, just as the sun is starting to set behind the mountain. It's not a true sunset, of course. It's just going behind the mountain, which means it's going to cast a shadow over everything. It's going to start getting dark, and it's going to start getting cold. And I haven't got a jacket on. Wanted to leave a little earlier, but Skeeter tends to draw a crowd. Right, Skeeter? comes the dragon on the Tennessee side. Oh. Who's a good duck? A good duck? What? What's the matter, Skeeter? Back, back. I wonder if the camera picks up her squawking at me. Jesus. Guy's trying to kill himself, right, Skeeter? Those Grom riders that just passed, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I kind of wish Skeeter wasn't with me. Because I'd show them a thing or two. Right, Skeeter? Can't have my little girl getting hurt because I pushed a little too hard. Still, I got a pretty good gap between us when they were up behind me after a couple of good turns. And a Grom with those little wheels should be able to out-handle me, but I think I've got them out-horsepowered. Which is kind of funny when it comes to a Ninja 250. Do you ever think of a Ninja 250 out-horsepowering anything? Not really. Very careful about passing these guys, like these SUVs here that don't go particularly fast. If they wave for me to go, I'm not going. No, it's a double yellow line. You pull over, then I'll pass. Otherwise, you're just asking for one of us to die. And I'm the one that's most likely to, along with my little baby. And I don't need my little bird getting hurt. Right, Skeeter? No, passing in a blind corner. Oh my God. Oh, fucking assholes. That would have been the corner where some a-hole goes around it in a Corvette. And just flattens somebody. One more mile, Skeeter. What is it, Skeeter? You good girl. I know, yes. We're taking a break. Everybody's talking about you, Skeeter. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. You're enjoying your trip on the mountain, huh?
Aww. God bless it.
That's Skeeter.
We have ducks where I live.
Skeeter's everybody's best friend. You can pet her if you'd like. All right, here we go. We're going, Skeeter. Boy, it is getting dark out here. I wonder how well this camera picks up at low light. I just kind of get it at 720, 30 frames a second. And I don't remember playing with any of the exposure settings. I did experiment with them though, but when I did use those settings, for some reason the file size that gets recorded is enormous. And I don't don't know if that's a bug or if it was just a oversight of the GoPro people that created the camera. Yeah, it works good, just the files are just enormous, and when you try to play them on my computer, they were just choppy and sluggish and not friendly. So I had to take the files and re-encode them with a different codec at a lower bit rate, and it didn't compromise the picture quality at all, but it's, you know, another extra step to editing the video, which is just a pain in the ass. Right, Skeeter? Oh, all the bugs are coming out. They're going in my mouth. When you're a biker, it's typical you get a couple bugs in your mouth now and then, but you're supposed to wear, you know, some kind of glasses, keep them out of your eyes at least. Face shield's even better. Oh. Well, I'm a little tired. I'm glad I've got some ice cream back in the hotel room. It's a shame Skeeter doesn't like it. Wow, the amount of bugs hitting my face shield is just massive. I don't know if the microphone is picking up the sound of them just pinging off the face shield, but I'm glad I closed it. They were starting to hurt. We're effectively off of what most people would call the Dragon. Right, Skeeter? Cleaning her feathers. Good girl. Alright, we're gonna shut the camera down.